Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Listen to these words. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Now bring it down hard. Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka, ooga, ooga. Guardians of the Galaxy. So Guardians of the Galaxy is the 10th movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the 4th movie in its Phase 2, and this was a really unexpected choice that Marvel made. Seriously, who on earth would think that a movie about these characters that nobody's heard of, which include a walking tree type thing and a talking raccoon, would be a good idea at all? When this movie was announced, I had no idea how I was supposed to respond. It was a long shot risk and everybody knew it. And guess what? Not only was it an awesome movie, it was the biggest hit of the year. And it is my personal favorite of all the Phase 2 films so far, but I think that might change in a little less than a month. So in Guardians of the Galaxy, we have Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord, played by Chris Pratt. He's a smuggler, he's going about his business in the cosmos, and he is pretty much the main character in this movie. The other characters are great too, but Peter Quill is the one you see the most of here. That being said, you also have Gamora, played by Zoe Saldana, the queen of sci-fi, and she's awesome. Gamora is like Black Widow in space. That's pretty much what she is. That's not a bad thing, it's actually a great thing. And we also have Rocket Raccoon and Groot, and these characters are seriously some of the greatest work in visual effects I have ever seen. You look at Rocket and you're like, yeah, that is a real raccoon thing standing there interacting with Chris Pratt. With all these lovable characters in the movie, I admit that the one I liked the least was Drax the Destroyer, because he's unfortunately mostly there for comic relief. I can't really say why, because it would spoil the movie just in case you haven't seen it yet. He does have some cool action scenes, but in the end, he doesn't really contribute that much to the movie. I don't hate him or anything, I love most of the characters in this movie. One of the greatest things about this movie for me is the soundtrack. You guys know me, I'm a huge classic rock fan and I'm a huge sci-fi fan, so when we're flying through space and we're listening to David Bowie, that earns the movie some major points. I got this movie soundtrack before the movie came out and I was listening to it constantly, and I was wondering how are they going to fit these 12 songs into the movie. But they did it, and none of them seemed shoehorned or forced into the movie at all. Plus the score is great too. It's not as good as Winter Soldiers, but it is still pretty good. It's got an epic theme when the Guardians are doing their thing. All in all, the music in this movie is definitely one of the strong points. It actually feels like it adds to the movie. Now people say that the villain Ronan is pretty weak, and I'm not gonna argue them because I agree. Actually, to me, he's not really weak, he's more like just kinda generic. He does have motivation and reason behind his cause, but as far as all these Marvel villains go, he's really not that special. That being said, I really liked Lee Pace's performance in this movie. The guy really had the voice for it. He was Thranduil in the Hobbit movies, that's what I remember him from. Ronan wasn't the character that I had a problem with. The character that I actually had a problem with was Nebula, because she came off more as like this brat that just had something to prove, and it kinda got annoying. She's not in the movie that much, so no points are deducted. The biggest concern I had walking into this movie was how is it going to tie in with the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Because let's face it, this takes place light years away from Earth, it's got nothing to do with Asgard, this whole setting is really completely new. If it doesn't show any kind of connection to the big picture, then there's really no reason we should care about it. Luckily, this movie shows a huge connection to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that is Thanos. We all saw him at the end of the Avengers. He is the end-all be-all villain of the Marvel CU. We finally get to see a little bit of what he's all about in this movie, and it's pretty sweet. So that gives this movie even more points. In the end, this movie was so out of left field for Marvel Studios, it was their biggest risk and it came out completely awesome. It was a very good blend of humor and action, which gives it one very important thing: rewatch value. It is more lighthearted than not, but I think that's one of the positives of this movie. It's a classic summer popcorn action sci-fi you can just sit back and enjoy, with lovable characters, a great story, and some damn great music. I'll put it like this, normally action movies will bore my mother to sleep, and she loved this movie. That's how good this movie is. So Guardians of the Galaxy, what's your favorite scene from this movie, or what's your favorite line? Whatever it is, go ahead and leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe.